Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in. My name is Murkrow, and I'd like to thank you for joining me on my very first Let's Play of one of my favorite games of all time, Pokemon Gold version. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. And we'll skip all this BS right now. What time is it? Let's just make it real life time. Let's go 3 o'clock and 35, is it? Yeah, 35. There we go. Yeah, you overslept big time, buddy. Way to screw up. So, Pokemon Gold is probably one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time. It was the first game that I remember really getting into as a kid, and it was also my first Pokemon game. So naturally, it's probably the entire reason why I love Pokemon so much. So let's go ahead and name ourselves here. Let's name ourselves Murk. That's a great name, Murk. And, okay. There we go. Your very own Pokemon story is about to unfold. You'll face tough times and challenges. The world of Pokemon awaits. Let's go. I'll be seeing you later. Alright, here we are. This is our room. Got a nice little PC over here. And unlike in Pokemon Red, there is no potion in the beginning there. So, as you can tell, Pokemon Gold's a lot harder than the original version. Come downstairs and we get in a little conversation from our mothers. So, Professor Elm wants to go see us. Oh, and our Pokegear is back from the shop. Here we go. Great, got some Pokegear. It's essential if you want to be a good trainer. All good trainers have Pokegear. You can't be anybody without Pokegear. Lance, every champion, they all have Pokegear. Without it, they'd just be... They wouldn't be anybody. How the hell else is Youngster Joey supposed to call you up and tell you about his bomb-ass Rattata if you ain't got no Pokegear? You're just starting off on the wrong foot without it. I always liked how when you told her that you know how to use the phone, she goes on to explain how to use the phone anyway. Just like a real mom. I always thought it was funny that you live in a 2-story house with one bedroom. Which means that your mother sleeps here, in the living room or in the kitchen on the hardwood floor. So let's walk out and down. This is the very nostalgic and beautiful New Bark Town. The winds of a new beginning begin to blow. Let's check out the town here. Who's this mysterious man looking into the window here? So this is the famous Elm Pokemon Lab. What are you staring at? Oi! What the hell, buddy? Jesus. Alright, let's move on then. What's up, Elm? There we are. He needs to ask us a favor. We just moved here and he's already asking us for favors. Give us a Pokemon for partner. They're all rare Pokemon that we just found. So go on, pick one. And don't let it die, because it's the only one of its kind. So in Pokemon Gold and Silver version, we have Cyndaquil, who is a fire starter. No, that's not, well, we're not going to choose it yet. Let's think it over carefully. Blah, blah, blah. Leave me alone. We have Totodile, who is the water starter. I always thought he was pretty cool looking as a kid. And way off to the far forgotten right, we have the grass starter, Chikorita. Growing up, I never knew a single person who ever chose Chikorita. I remember one time my cousin dared me to do a playthrough with Chikorita one time before, and it was probably the hardest thing a little 9-year-old Merc has ever done. I never even beat the game with a Meganium ever before. It's just, if you pick Chikorita as a starter, you need to get a new starter. Another fun fact is that I have the most connection to Cyndaquil and Typhlosion. I think that they're the coolest starter from Gold and Silver. But he's not actually my first starter from this series. When I first got Pokemon Gold, way back when I was 8 years old, the first starter I actually ever chose was Totodile. And I got, but I wasn't very good at Pokemon back then, and I never got through the entire game with Totodile. And I restarted the game eventually, and I eventually beat it, so the first time I ever beat Pokemon was with a Cyndaquil, which is probably why I'm so attached to them. So let's make headway right over to Cherry Grove City, our first destination. There we go. Couldn't make it through the first one without a battle. So for all two of you who have never played Pokemon before, here's how it works. When you enter a battle in the random encounters with wild grass and stuff like that, you have 4 options that I'm circling around here. You have Fight, which has all your moves. You can select the Pokemon button if you have different Pokemon, of which we have 0 right now. You can also go into your backpack, use healing items and Pokeballs and other such things. Or you can also just run away like a baby. But we're not going to do that right now. Oh, good. That's a good start. Our first attack ever is going to miss. Pokemon battling is pretty simple, though. You just have a range of attacks. There's physical damage attacks and, like, debuffing moves like Leer. So I'll just show that one off. I always thought Leer was a cool move when I was a kid, because it looks like you're shooting laser beams from Cyndaquil's back, but in reality it does jack nothing to an 8-year-old. It lowers their defense by about 1 point, which is not very useful this early on in the game. You're much better off just trying to run through things and just attacking everything. Alright, let's move on. Oh, look, a Sentret. I always thought Sentret was a weird Pokemon, like with a little circle on its belly. It's pretty cute. I always just thought it was weird how it, like, is it meant to be drawn standing up on its tail in its little animation there? Now that's interesting. Right there is what you just saw is a new feature for Pokemon for Gen 2 compared to Gen 1 is the held item system. Our Cyndaquil there just used a berry that it was holding. When certain conditions are met and your Pokemon is holding specific items, they'll activate automatically in battle. So when our Cyndaquil's health dropped to yellow or lower, it activated the berry and recovered 10 HP. But this wouldn't work, for example, if the move were to kill you. If the move was going to kill you, then it would just your Pokemon would faint and it would not use the berry. It would still have it, but you need to take your Pokemon to the Pokemon Center. I thought I'd just show this area off a little bit. Route 46. Over here you can find a little bit different Pokemon than what's going on over on the route prior. In this area you can find Spearows, Rattatas, and Geodudes. And we don't really want to run into a Geodude this early in the game. They're pretty tough opponents. They have really high physical attack and physical defense, and that's not going to work out for us right now. So with that being said, we'll just move right on out of there and start heading on to Cherry Grove City again. There we go. I always thought this guy was really funny. You talk to him, and he says, "I'm waiting for the Pokemon that only appears at night." So that's another new feature in this game compared to the old ones, is the day-night system, where different Pokemon will appear in the daytime as opposed to the nighttime. The funny part is, if you come back to this guy during the nighttime, he sits there, and then he'll say to you, "I'm waiting for the Pokemon that only comes out in the morning." And can you imagine what hell this guy lives in? It just constant state of unsatisfaction, of waiting for specific Pokemon that are just never out when you want them to be around. Alright, so it looks like we made it to Cherry Grove City, and it looks like my time's running up. But I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time for more Pokemon Gold.